Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag here with yet another cigar box guitar lesson. We're going to play some Rolling Stones. This is a 4-string cigar box guitar tuned to open G, as most of them are. That's sort of just kind of how it happens. Not sure why, but everybody thinks you got it tuned to open G, but it's a great tuning, and it allows you to play in a lot of different keys with a capo, but we won't go into all that. All right, so open G. 4 strings. Most cigar box guitars, like I said, are tuned with a 5th string from a regular 6-string set, a 4th string, a 3rd string, and a 1st string. The 5th string is usually tuned down to G. Let me tell you this before I get too deep in it. There's a trillion, gazillion, times a billion, times 100 trillion, billion, zillion ways to tune a cigar box guitar, just like there's 300 trillion times a billion times trillion times 14.2 divided by 6 to tune any guitar. You can tune any guitar a billion times a billion, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, so for whatever reason, most cigar box guitars are tuned to open G. So this is a 5th string from a regular 6-string set tuned down from the normal A to G. All right, here's a 4th string from a regular 6-string set tuned to D, just like any old guitar. Here's the 3rd string tuned to G, just like any old guitar. And here's the 2nd string tuned to B, just like any guitar. So, long story short, you put your 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings on. You tune them all just like a regular guitar, except for the big one. That goes down to G instead of A. Very, very simple. This just so happens to be the exact same tuning Keith Richards has been using for 50-something years. So, let's get right to it. Bar across the 12th fret with your 1st finger. Add your 2nd finger on the 1st string, 13th fret. Add your 3rd finger 2 frets up on the 14th fret. And that's going to be on the 3rd string. One more time. Bar all the way across. Then take your 2nd finger, put it on the 1st string, 13th fret. Then you take your 3rd finger and put that on the 3rd string, 14th fret. If it doesn't sound just like this, somehow you screwed up. It's called a suspended chord, but we won't get into all of that. I'm just using 2 fingers to fret notes, and I'm using my 1st finger to go all the way across all 4. So what I'm doing is I'm strumming. I'm choking the chord. So instead of going, I'm choking. Now the next part, go down to the 5th fret. We're going to do the same thing in reverse. Bar all the way across. This time we're starting with the 1st finger all the way across, and then we're adding the other 2. Now, I'm not choking that chord with my strum hand. I'm simply lifting off the fretboard. So I press down when I want to hear that chord, and I lift up a tiny nanosecond later to kill the chord. So it's a very short, chopped chord. Now we're going to hammer. I'm strumming both times, obviously. Again, the famous Keith Richards suspended chord. All right, back to the top. As you can see, I'm just doing a variation of that same thing for the entire song. So you go up to the 8th fret. Back to the 5th. Down to the 1st. One more time, slow. 5th. That's the main part of the song. That's also the intro. there's a couple of little fancy doodad kind of strum dealies there. If you are a somewhat of an accomplished guitar player, you already know how to do all this. Let's go back up to the 8th fret. So it's a very quick ba-da-down, down, up, down, and then a choke. That's 90% of the entire song. So the rest of the song is the verse. I'm barring all the way across the 5th fret. I'm adding my pinky, you can use your 3rd finger if you like, to the 3rd string, 7th fret. This is your chugga chugga, boogie woogie, Chuck Berry kind of a lick. Do the exact same thing on the 10th fret. Back down to the 5th fret now. 3rd fret. And this is your chorus part. We'll get back to that later. Back over that rhythm. I call it the chugga chugga. Now, what Keith Richards did was nothing that nobody else is. I mean, he's not the first guy who ever did it. Is what I'm trying to say. He took a Chuck Berry kind of a blues shuffle, and he chopped it up. He made it real chunky and choppy, which I really adore that sound. I do it all the time, even in slow blues. I much prefer that sound. Not that, one's wrong or one's right. But anyhow. So how does he do that? He's choking every strum. He's just lifting his finger off a tiny, tiny bit off the fretboard. So you want to have a little tiny chord, just a little short gank for the chord, gank. You don't want to go gang or gang 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 gang. Just so how do you chop it? You lift this finger up. If you've never done it, it does take some practice. Here's how you should practice that. I'm doing the strum on the up, and I'm doing a click on the down. I call it a click. It's a totally muted chord on the down. So it's strum, click. Now we're doing the Chuck Berry. So I'm using my pinky on the 3rd string, 7th fret. I'm only using 2 fingers. First finger all the way across, and I'm adding my pinky. You can use your 3rd finger too if you prefer, to on the 3rd string, on the 7th fret. There you go, folks. So that's when he starts singing. Then you go up to the 10th fret. Then you go back down to the 5th fret, same thing. 3rd fret. So what you're doing is the 4th string, and you're sliding from 2 to 3. It's a country lick, been around forever. Then you're going to take your first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, And then you're going to play the open second string. Make sure you slide from 2 to 3 on that 4th string. Now I'm using my fingers because I like to use my fingers when I play cigar box guitar. So I'm using my thumb for all those notes except for the last one. Thumb, 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 first finger. Let's get closer in on that. That's my first finger. My second finger just kind of goes along with my first finger like they're glued together. Don't ask me why, that's just how my fingers work, but I'm not using 2 fingers. I suppose you could if you want, but it's kind of overkill. All right, so back to the verse. That little lick right there, I kind of put it in there. I think he kind of does that every now and then. First finger on 1, 1. Second finger on 3, 2. Again, start with the up strum. This is extremely important to make it sound just right. If you don't do it on the up strum, it's not going to sound horrible, but it's not quite the same. Again, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. So first finger is on the first string, first fret, and the second finger is on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And that's the suspended chord that Keith does on his 6th string. Back to the verse. So what is that lick? It is the big string. It's the exact same lick he plays on his 6th string, but it probably looks a little different because this is a 4th string, obviously. Thumb on the big string, on the 4th string. You're going to hammer, or I should say slide, from the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret. Then you play your open 3rd string with your thumb. This is all with your thumb, by the way. And then you play your open 3rd string. trick again. Now, keep in mind that this is an open tune guitar, but the key of the song is not in your open chord, right? This is not in the key of G. Well, yeah, it kind of is. There's been a long kind of a argument about this. It's in G as far as the main riff, but it's actually in C. G, A, B, C. So when you play the beginning of this song, that right there is G. Key of C. But it starts on the G. So it's been confusing for some people for a long time. There you go. Thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe. Also, see my cigar box guitars on jagshouse.com. JAGSHOUSE.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your kind support, and toodles.